Hi everyone! Hi everyone! Hi everyone! What the hell was that? Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. Today I have finally gotten around to filming my February favourites. I've got a few beauty favourites that I want to share with you and a lifestyle favourite as well that you may have just heard about before, but I'm so excited, and it happened in February, so it's only right that I mention it in my February favourites too. So today is a bit of a strange one. The sun is constantly in and out. It's either blinding or it's so dull, so if the lighting changes through the video, I'm sorry, I can't change it. I prefer filming with natural light rather than with studio lights, so you can't always guarantee that it's going to stay sort of on an even keel through your videos. I woke up to a load of snow that, well, I say a load, it wasn't really a load of snow, but the ground was covered. We woke up to snow this morning and I thought I wouldn't be able to film the video because it was so dark and dull, but now it's really sunny and really nice and it looks like summer again, but it feels like winter up there, it's freezing. I'm actually sat with a hot water bottle on my knee at the moment because I'm so cold. Luckily, I work from an office that's inside my house, so I do have the heating on and it's nice and warm, but for some reason, I'm just cold all the time. I'm that person that's always in loads of layers of clothes. Even in the summer, I can go out for a picnic with friends and they'll all be sat there in little summer tops and I'm sat there with a cardigan on, shivering, thinking, God, I'm really cold, I wish it was a bit warmer. I used to work in an office in Leeds and everybody in the office used to be like, oh, can we put the aircon on, it's so warm, and I would literally be sat there shivering, and I used to go to the kitchen to make a cup of tea just so I could sit and hold it because I was so cold. It was horrible. It was that cold I couldn't even type on my keyboard. Thinking about it now, actually, I probably should get that checked out because I know that that can happen if you've got a problem with your thyroid. Are any of you guys always cold? Or is it just me? I'm sure there's a lot of you out there. Anyway, let's get into the February favourites. My first favourite for February, which you'll probably already know about if you follow my blog or you've watched any of my other videos, is winning the Professional Beauty Awards under the Makeup Specialist of the Year 2018 category. What an amazing thing to have happened. I can't believe it. I turned 30 recently. I turned 30 on the 20th of February. And then I think it was the 25th I was in London, I think it was the 25th, is when I found out that I'd won the award. So my 30s got off to an amazing start. I was so happy. This whole year has gotten off to a good start. I thought it was a bad start because I'd been really poorly. I'm still not quite right, but I'm okay, I'm getting a lot better. So yeah, I was thinking this year had gotten off to a really bad start, but then obviously I turned 30 and won the award. So hopefully things are on the turn as spring comes in. Hopefully we're taking a turn for the better. So yeah, that was, I think that's going to be like my favourite for the whole year, to be honest. But winning that award is just so amazing. It's such a big achievement and it's a massive award. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there that night. And yeah, I just can't believe that I won that award. It's amazing. Let's get on to the beauty favourites now. My first beauty favourite is Skinny Tan, and this one is the Express Mousse, which is the 1 hour tan. So this is a self tanner with smoothing organic oils and guarana for firming. I used to get my T's and F's mixed up when I was younger, and I always used to go up to my mum and be like, oh, I know it now, it's flour, flour. She used to be like, no, it's not, it's flour, not flour. I really love this tan. I got sent this actually to try out for a review and I really, really like it. I got it must have been last summer. They sent me the dark mousse first, which was a little bit too dark for me because I'm very, very fair skinned, but I still liked it. But I felt a little bit out of my comfort zone with it because it was just too dark for my skin. So they very kindly sent me this one to try. So the idea with this one is that you apply it and you can leave it for an hour and then wash it off and you will have a really nice natural tan. So the longer you leave it to develop, the darker your tan will be. So when I went to London for the Pro Beauty Awards, I left this on my skin for about 7 hours, which is really daring for me because usually I'm like, oh, getting up to an hour and a half now, I need to take this off, otherwise I'm going to be way too dark. But anyway, 7 hours was kind of a really good ballpark for me. I really enjoyed being that tanned. It didn't look orange, it didn't look really fake, I didn't have patchy bits on my hands, didn't have patches on my elbows or on my knees. I think the key to getting a really good fake tan is to exfoliate first and then moisturise those areas of your skin that tend to get a bit drier. So your hands, your feet, your knees, your elbows, moisturise them first, leave it for 10 minutes and then put your tan on top. But yeah, I really like this tan, and I like the packaging as well. It smells really nice when it first goes on. It's meant to be a tanner that doesn't have a fake tan smell, but I can still smell that fake tan smell when I use this. And my mum used it as well and she could smell that fake tan smell too. I just think it's kind of inevitable that you get a little bit of that fake tan smell, but it's not bad, it's not offensive by any means, it's just a nice tan. So if you're looking for a tan to perk you up over this spring and summer, definitely check out Skinny Tan. Please fake your tan rather than sitting in the sun and baking or going on sunbeds. I really disagree with them. I'm so I'm so safety conscious when it comes to sun care and skincare, so faking it is your best option. My next favourite is from NYX, and it's their Pro Foundation Mixer, and this is the colour White. It is literally a white foundation. My skin is ultra pale, even the lightest shade of MAC Studio Fix is a little bit dark for me. In fact, no, they did bring out another one. They brought out NW10, which makes me look very poorly, but NC15, which is kind of like the lightest that I would want to go, is a little bit too dark for me, I'm not going to lie. So I have to mix a different colour in with my foundations usually to get them to look remotely matched to my skin. So this is the one that I decided to try, and I'm really glad that I did. I really like it. The consistency is lovely. It goes on just like a normal foundation. I wouldn't say it's a sheer coverage. I would say it's maybe medium to buildable. You can definitely mix a little bit more and get a more of a fuller, more opaque, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, a more opaque coverage. It's a really nice foundation mixer. I've never really tried these ones before, but I'm very happy with it, and I'm so glad that I picked it up. If you can hear the barking, that's Lily. I'm guessing it's the postman. She's stopped now, so maybe she's just barking at Alfie. She torments him all the time. Lily used to really dislike Alfie when I first brought him home, and now she just doesn't leave him alone. If he's trying to sleep, Lily wants him up, she wants him to play, and she's always terrorising him, but he does the same to her. They are so cute. My next favourite is from L'Oreal, and this has been on my favourites before, and I've recently fallen back in love with it. It's the Infallible 24-Hour Stay Fresh Foundation. This is in the colour Natural Rose. Because I don't like the ivory one, it's a bit too pinky for me, so I like to go for the Natural Rose. It's got slightly more of, I would say, a yellow undertone, even though it's got rose in the title, and I mix it with the NYX, and it's a perfect shade for me. I love it. This foundation reminds me so much of MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I've talked about this before, and I've blogged about it and done a review on it, so I will leave that in my description box if you want to check that out. It's a great foundation, it's a really good coverage, it'll cover blemishes and spots, you can build with it. It's just a really nice foundation, it lasts a long time. I wouldn't necessarily say it lasts 24 hours, but would you really want your foundation to last 24 hours? I wouldn't. I'd want to get that off my face and feel fresh and clean again. So yeah, a good one to try and a really good alternative to MAC if you are looking for a cheaper alternative to use at work or just through the week. Give it a go, it's a good one. My next favourite is one that has been doing the rounds on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen this before. It's the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour. This is in the shade C1, which I believe is the lightest one. I was so lucky to be able to snap this up. I went to, where was I? I was somewhere. I was in Wakefield, I think. I think I was in the Trinity. I don't know what it's called, Trinity Walk, is it? Anyway, I was in that shopping centre in Wakefield, and I popped into Superdrug, and there was a big hype over a stand, and I thought, oh, I bet it's for these concealers, because they were quite big at that time, and I think it was Holly Boone that had mentioned them, and Imogen from Imagination. So yeah, I went over to the stand, and there were loads of teenage girls just crowding around this stand, pulling at all the colours, and I saw the C1, and I was just like, yes, I'll try that one. So quickly plucked it out and went to the till and purchased it. I really like this. It's the one that I usually use is the Collection Lasting Perfection, and there are a few differences between them, but there are a lot of similarities as well. I really like the applicator on this one. It's a really thick doe foot applicator, so you can cover more surface area much quicker. I like the colour of it better than the collection one. When it dries down, it doesn't tend to oxidise on me as much, so it stays much lighter than the collection one. The thing that I will say is, even though it looks like it's in a chunky container, there's not really that much product in there at all, and you will run out really, really quickly. I mean, if you look down the barrel, you can see there's not really that much product in it. This is 3.4 mils, and I think the collection one is about 6 point something, or maybe 6 mils. It's pretty much double the amount of what you get in here, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'll leave my review that I did in the description box below if you want to check it out. It's a blog post, but I've got a few swatches on there and bits and pieces and comparisons. Saying that, I really like this better because I like the colour of it better. It just sits on my skin better. It's a better match for me. I don't find that it really creases on my skin. I know a lot of people have had trouble with creasing with this one. I will say that the collection one tends to set a little bit firmer and quicker than this one. But yeah, I've not really had any trouble with creasing. I don't use this one on my clients. I need to test it out a lot more first before I go on and do that. I still use the collection one because I prefer it to MAC, believe it or not. But yeah, I think this is a really great concealer. So if you are in the market for a new concealer and you can get hold of the shade that you need because they are always sold out, then give them a go. I also want to try the contour shades next to have a go with the cream contour. I'm not a cream contour kind of girl. I just don't find it easy to work with, and I don't really like the effect on my own skin. But who knows, it might change my mind. I'm going to give it a try anyway. My next favourite is also a drugstore favourite. This is a replacement that I bought for my old one, which is really battered. I actually dropped it on the floor in the studio when I was in there doing my makeup once, and it's a really hard floor in there, so obviously it's smashed, but I managed to salvage a bit of it, but it just looks a mess, so I'm going to show you the new one instead of the old one. So this is from MUA, which is Makeup Academy, and it's the Shimmer Highlight Powder. This is what pink shimmer looks like. They are really, really pretty shades. I think there's about 4, maybe 5 shades in this range, and they are all really, really nice. They're extremely highly pigmented for the price that you pay. I'm wearing it at the moment, and it is what it says. It looks like an iridescent, pinky, purpley sort of shimmer. It's really pretty. I also really like the gold one, but I picked this one up because I wanted the pinky one for London for the awards. But yeah, this is really nice. It's such a great budget highlighter, so give it a go if you fancy a new highlighter and you are looking for a cheaper alternative. My next favourite is a lip gloss. I kind of got out of wearing lip glosses for absolute years, and then one year I had the Charlotte Tilbury advent calendar and it had a lip gloss in there, and when I put it on, it was like a revelation again. I was so happy to wear a lip gloss again, and I really loved how it looked. So I decided to revisit my youth and get one from Bourjois. So I used to wear one of these from Bourjois when I was probably in like school and college. It was a much darker pink than this one. It was like more of a brighter cerise pink. They still sell it now. I think it's number 23. This one is number 29, which is Rose Charismatic. The actual name is the Effect 3D, and it's the Volume and Brilliance Gloss, and it's hydration for 8 hours. I wouldn't say it lasts for 8 hours, but I don't really expect that from a gloss anyway. The only thing that I'm not so keen on is how small the applicator is. I prefer a bit more of a bigger brush to apply that with. Maybe not bigger, but maybe a little bit longer. It just feels a little bit tiny when you're putting it on, and I think you get a better, I think you can dispense your product better if it's a slightly bigger brush. But yeah, this is a really nice product. It smells like sherbet. It reminds me of being younger, not little. I didn't used to wear it when I was little. Yeah, it reminds me of my youth, so I really, really like this one. And my next favourite is from Trifle Cosmetics, and this is the Sugar Pear Sublime Lip Scrub. This is amazing. I've featured this in a favourite before, I think, or have I? Or have I just written about it before? I'm not sure. Anyway, I really love this, so it's going back on the favourites again, even if it was on the one before, because I love it. So this actually contains, I think it's pecan and almond oil, which is very strange for me to be able to use that. The reason being is that I have an extremely severe nut allergy, to the point that if I eat nuts, I go into anaphylactic shock, and basically I will die if I'm not administered my EpiPen, which is a shot of adrenaline. But the reason why I can use this, I did a lot of research on it before I tried it out because I was really scared to try it because obviously it's got nut ingredients. I have to be so careful with the products that I use because I've had situations in the past where I went to a beauty salon and they did my cuticles. I was having my nails done, so they cut my cuticles and the girl managed to cut my skin by accident, and she put me an oil on afterwards and I didn't realise that it contained almond oil. They hadn't done a client consultation with me, they'd not brought up any allergies or things like that. And yeah, it affected me. It didn't put me into anaphylactic shock or anything like that, but by that evening my hands were really swollen and so sore, and my fingers were literally throbbing. It was so sore. They went all bright yellow and red. It was disgusting. I had to have antibiotics and topical creams, and yeah, it was a really frightening time. And it just goes to show how careful you have to be with what ingredients you're using, you know, what you're tolerant to. Anyway, back to this. The reason why I think I can use this is because the ingredients have been so highly refined that they're not actually, they don't actually present as an allergen anymore, so they're safe for me personally to use. If you have allergies to nuts and things like that, I would definitely err on the side of caution and do a patch test first before you use them. It seems to me that I'm allergic to the protein in the nut, and once it's been refined or hydrogenated, like in cooking, then I can eat it, it's okay. So if I go to Five Guys, I can eat their fries. That rhymes. Because they've been hydrogenated, I can eat it, but if they hadn't, no chance. Anyway, back to this. It's a really nice lip scrub. It smells like toffee. Oh, it is so nice. It's the nicest one I've ever used. It just makes me want to eat it. It's like toffee, caramelly, everything's sweet. It's so nice. I use this maybe a couple of times a week and just rub it onto my lips, and I use an old toothbrush to give my lips a little bit of a scrub, and then I wipe it off with a wet cloth, and then I will put my lip balm on top and I feel all brand new. So this is a really nice product if you are looking for a lip scrub to bring you out of these winter months and give you kissable lips once again. So that brings me to the end of my February favourites video. It's been a little bit of a long video, I think. It might take me a little while to edit this down to something that's, you know, short enough to put up as a favourites. I think it's because I haven't filmed for a little while and I haven't been feeling very well. And now that I've like got the camera again and I'm feeling a little bit better, I'm just like blah 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 blah, just can't stop talking. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Leave me a comment in the comments box. I love chatting to everybody, I reply to everyone, and it's just nice. It feels like a community, like you're having a sit down chat with your friends. Have a great day whatever you are up to. I hope that you are not too snowed in or disrupted by the snow. Or if you are snowed in, have a great snow day, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.